Today we are having the pleasure of being in the presence of one of Jersey's most unique and talented individuals. Now, she started developing her craft as a child, and now she has earned the title of a cosmetologist. With well over a decade in the business as a professional, she's been the lead hairstylist for We Are Jersey Magazine, Build Your Own Portfolio Project, and New Jersey's Kids Fashion Week, to name a few, right? As well as style celebrities such as Fatboy SSE, Trinidad James, and many, many more. Now, without further ado, allow me to introduce you to Brie.
Hi.
Hello there.
Hi, Ralphie. How are you?
I am doing great, man. I'm excited to be sitting down with you, and your catalog speaks for itself. Your experience. It's a little bit intimidating to sit next to somebody who has achieved so much. You know what I mean, in her life and in her craft, of course. Because I want to make sure that I deliver not only a well message to the audience, but I want to be able to obtain as much information from you. In the sense of like you have so much wisdom, so much knowing when it comes to your field that it's important to emphasize. So
It
how are you feeling today? How are you?
Today, I am breaking through social media right now.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Pissing me off.
Emphasize on that because right now that's an episode that we also talked about in the cause and effect too when it comes to social media and all that stuff. So I wanna hear your perspective when it comes to it.
I feel like it's a whole nother job because you gotta keep your algorithm up, and I don't even remember all these words that they be saying that you gotta do with social media now. So I'm just now working on my mental health,
Okay.
like building me back together, like
Yeah.
back in my puzzle piece, because I feel like I was all over the place, especially like traveling and working with a whole bunch of different personalities. Even though I am a people person, it is just a lot of work, especially like different personalities left and right, 24/7.
Believe me, I can relate to that part. It's draining. Being social could be draining. I'm an introvert myself by nature, so my method of recharging is by being by myself. I like to be alone. When I talk to nobody, sometimes I turn off my phone. I don't want to interact. Just
Right.
let me recharge and get my mind straight, and then come back to the world and so on. But it could be draining. Right now I'm taking a break from social media. I'm not on Instagram. I deactivated my account just not primarily because of that, but it's just like sometimes we have the tendency. Well, those of us who are primarily the audience, we have the tendency of getting caught up with other people's lives.
Right.
You know what I mean? And comparing and doing all of this stuff. So sometimes it could be difficult for, especially content creators such as yourself. Sometimes it could be difficult to differentiate or, stand on that other side of the line because it's a thin line sometimes. You could cross that line and get all messed up and your mental health could suffer from just being on it. But at the same time, I understand, and we all as creators, understand that we need to be in the social media in order for people to understand that where we're coming from, where our platform and what kind of content we're creating and so on. For us, the cause and effect for you, cosmetology and all that stuff, you gotta show your work at the end of the day. So you gotta be on that. You gotta keep up with the with the algorithm and all of that stuff. So is Instagram your main social media, or do you have other like Facebook, TikTok, or?
I have Facebook. I tried TikTok, but the editing, all the new features, it's just I feel like I'm old school with it,
Yeah.
and I feel like I don't feel like learning it.
Listen, that was us. That's been us, and we've been kind of stubborn with it. Right now, we just getting on that wave, but that's because we understand where things are at right now. That's a completely different topic. I don't want to dive into deep into it. My friend Chico, the one that I'm substituting right now because I'm better than him at this moment.
Hey Chico. Hey
Just kidding.
Chico.
Just kidding. But he pretty much emphasized the importance of like getting into the new thing, the new wave, which is TikTok. At the moment.
Oh God.
Listen, I feel the same way, but it's important, especially if you're trying to create a presence in the social media world right now. That's just pretty much just booming,
And it's like I don't want to act like I don't like the internet
I
or
hear
nothing
you.
like that, because you get a lot of information and a lot of visual. I'm a visual learner too.
Likewise.
So looking at a lot of pictures and videos helps me out a lot.
Mhm.
But, you know, when you have to actually do it yourself and you're not really into it, it's annoying.
It becomes a job.
Yeah.
It becomes like, yeah.
When I was doing YouTube or whatever, like my hair tutorials, and I used to do mukbangs too, because I would talk to the people who would make the food for me
Yeah.
on the YouTube live.
Yeah.
And then we would have like regular conversations about like what they do, how they prepare my meals and whatever.
Yeah.
And that was fun too. But when it came to like the editing part, because you have to watch it after you make it, so you can edit it and take out what you don't want in it. It's a long process.
It really
and
is. It's time consuming. It's tedious. Could be tedious sometimes. So I want to dive into that, but further in the conversation. Right now, I just want to like people to get an idea of who you are and what you're about.
Okay.
Cosmetology, you know, hair.
Hair.
What led you into that
It's
in the
so
first place?
beautiful. It feels so good.
And
And
you-
you put your hands through it.
Hey, yeah, right now you're self-conscious
You know,
about your hair. Your hair looks great. I'm really like, your hair looks great.
All
I
right,
want
I'll
you to
take my
come-
hat off. Let me see.
I like it.
Girl, bye.
Now,
But I'm gonna leave it off.
but there you go. Embrace it. You know, be
Yeah.
a statement. But
Thank you.
what really led you to it? Like, how did it all start for you?
I just used to like. It was so attractive to me, because I first started it when I was a little girl. I lived with my cousins and my mother, my aunt, and my grandmother, and my cousin was the most one who had the most coarsest hair.
Okay.
And it just attracted me more because it was like really shrunk, and then when you put your hands through it and just curl it out, it'd be like so long. So I'm like, how your hair gets so long like that, and it's so short at that time. And when I was a kid, I didn't understand. So that what drew me in to actually find out like, why is her hair so long, but when it's wet it's so short. So I started playing in her hair, and then my mom saw me, I guess, and then she started telling me to braid my doll baby's hair every time when I get in trouble.
How old were you when all of this happened?
I was like 4 or 5.
Wow. So you've been on the making. You've been on pretty much in the pursuit of it in a way, subconsciously for the most part, since you were like 4.
Yeah.
While you was doing like, I read a little bit of info on you. He was doing this like what, like with dolls and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
my baby dolls. And I like their brat dolls, not Barbie dolls. Because they had more hair in their head because their head was bigger.
we could go with that.
So I was
I'm like, why?
yeah.
Because it's Barbies. It's perfect.
No. And their swag was different. They was like more rock star. Like,
Okay.
had glasses and stuff like that.
So what was okay, so you gravitated to it from a young age, you know, and you said your mom encouraged you to like, that's different because, you know, in many cases, like my friend Jump Out, you know, he does check your mental. If you haven't checked that, tune in. But he briefly mentioned, not briefly, but he actually made a whole episode talking about, you know, how sometimes our parents, you know, want us to do like what they missed out on. You know what I mean? Like if our parents wanted to be a lawyer, but for some reason, because they had us or whatever, they couldn't be that. They wanted their kids to pursue their dreams. You know what I mean? So how did that came about? Like how, like, because, you know, how was your mother being so supportive when it came to your dream? Because sometimes our parents don't even care about our dreams, or they're so caught up in their own little world that they don't even, you know what I mean? Or they just want us to do something a certain way that they don't even care about what we want. They just want us to do this because they think it's best for us. So, I mean, first off, how you feel about your mother, and then how you feel about her at this point in your life, looking at it from hindsight, encouraging you to do what you're doing.
Yeah. My mom's a role model. I act just like her.
Yeah.
If she was sitting here right now, you'd be like, oh, that's Brianna. No, that's Cynthia. By the way, my mom's name's Cynthia. But my mom let me do whatever I wanted to do.
Okay.
Like, I wanted to play the violin. She let me play the violin. Then I didn't like it. Then I wanted to play tennis. She let me play tennis. I ain't like it. Then I wanted to be a vet. First of all, I wanted to be a veterinarian because I like animals so much. So my little dog, and cause I think I like animals so much because my grandmother always had cats in the house, and the cats that she always had were very good. Like they weren't like feisty or nothing like that. You know how people like, oh, I don't like cats, they too sneaky. I didn't get that feel from them.
Okay.
I always thought that they was cool and they was like, okay, I'll come sit on your lap, you let me pet you. Da, da, da.
You
They was
friendly,
so
all right?
yeah, they were so fluffy. So being a vet, I wanted to do that. But then I started researching when I got older, like, oh, you got to go to school for this, that, and the third. And I wasn't a school person either. So I'm like, damn, I got to go to school, do something, because what am I going to do with my life?
Yeah.
So after high school, I took pharmacy because I thought I was going to do be a pharmacist. So I went to school for that. It was a school named Brie College in Wayne, right across the street from Willowbrook Mall. I went to school there for like a month. No, I'm lying. I went to school for like 4 months. And then I started seeing that you had to learn by yourself after you got out of high school. Like, you had to read everything by yourself. Your teachers didn't really, help you read the book correctly. They would just be like, all right, take out your books and read it and then do your homework and your assignments. They'd be like, first of all, sometimes I do need extra help. So right now, me being an adult, if I don't know something, I'm going to ask anyway, a person. I'm not afraid to ask for help, period. That's why I feel like I'm at where I am now, because I have so much help. And I love asking questions. It is important. And I love asking questions. I got like 18 mentors, I feel like.
Before we dive into those, because I would definitely want to talk about that, but I want to bring it back a little bit to the point where you was talking about your mother, what I mean, how she was so supportive of all the decisions you made as a child, because a lot of parents don't do that. I think that's important for us to emphasize on, because, in many cases, like I mentioned before, our parents just want us to do what they want, not so much what we want as a kid, because I think we're too little, we don't have enough experience, we don't have enough knowing, or whatever the case may be. So that's pivotal. I think that might have been a pivotal point in your life, to know that your mom will support you no matter what it is that you want to do, and she'll actually encourage you and actually put effort into signing you up to, play tennis or, whatever it is that you feel like at the moment might be it.
Right. But at one point, though, time in my life, she did like fall back for me a little bit. I think around like a time when I was 1924-ish.
But I think
I feel as though,
because it comes a point then, like, okay, you gotta figure it out.
Right.
Now. We gotta give you enough tries.
Right.
I mean, as a parent, you gotta understand too. We all gotta understand as parents. Like, I'm not a parent. We're not parents.
no.
But we gotta understand them. Like, all right, I give you plenty of shots. At this point, you gotta sit down and actually think what is that you want to do. So, what was the moment? Where was the moment that you feel like, all right, cosmetology, hair? You tried all this thing out. It didn't work out. What made you want to come back to hair? Because you started hair at like the age of 4, right? So and then you left that off, and then you started doing all this other stuff. Or maybe not, but you like started branching off, and then you came back and made it a real thing. Like, when did that happen to you?
I think I started coming back doing hair after, like, in between of being in pharmacy, like doing pharmacy school, because it was getting harder and harder and harder, and I wasn't understanding. So I'm like, all right, well, I only got one more option, and then that's to do hair. And I was just always still doing hair. Even my friends and stuff, we would always do each other hair on the porch and spend the night and do hair every weekend. So I went to cosmetology school twice.
Twice? Why twice?
Because the first time when I went to cosmetology school was like right after Burden, which was pharmacy. That was like 2009. That was when I graduated high school. And then I'm like, all right, I can go do hair, do cosmetology hair. So I went there 2009 in Bloomfield called Empire. I graduated, right? But then I didn't get my license because you have to, what is it? Oh, it takes you about 5 years to get your license, like your actual state board license. And I just got sidetracked again. I started doing data entry. I'm like, well, maybe I really don't want to do hair. And then that's when my mom started, bugging me, like, you need to get a job with benefits and you need a check.
Security.
Yeah.
And then there's security.
So I'm like, all right. So I started doing data entry. Then I started doing country club jobs, just like my relatives, my aunt and my cousins used to always do what is it? Oh, country clubs. And then I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then I went back to school. I went to Parisian. That was like in 2018. So while I was doing that, I was in country club, doing a country club. And then I was like, okay, let me just start doing hair again in the house and get the flow back going and see how it's going to work out being self-employed on the side as well. And then it started picking up. Like, it was good. That's when, like, Instagram started kicking up and I was cool with it. So I'm like, yeah, all right, I could do this. I could make promotions every weekend, you know, do different hairstyles. And I was the hairstylist that was braiding with color. So everybody at the time wanted color in their hair, like pinks and purples. And I was like, all right, this is cool, this is cool. Then I graduated cosmetology school again.
How that happened though? Because you didn't like school. What a help made you? What a help made you go to school? Like I don't like school, but like
Right, because I had to do it. I had to get it out the way. So I think I got it out the way.
you don't think you could have done it without going to school? You don't think you could have just been like, I'm gonna do hair and that's it?
No, because I wanted to be official. Like
Okay.
I wanted to get my license. I wanted to be like safe wherever I went, whether it was being in a salon or by myself, you know, getting your own storefront and whatever the case may be. Even like going to do like hair shows. You want to be all straight, make sure everything's correct so nobody has anything bad to say about you.
Okay.
Cuz these celebrity hairstylists, they don't even have their license. So, well, some of them don't, but they don't say it. So I don't want to.
You don't
I
want to
don't
deal
want to
with
be
no.
in that mix. I just
Yeah.
don't want to. I don't got time for that.
So like, what was the first brand you collaborated with?
Let me go back and think.
Let's bring it back.
My first brand was We Are Jersey. I don't want to get it messed up because I know that for a fact. Because I'll never forget the day when I hit up Banks in his DM and asked him if I could do all their models here. Because I was stalking their page for a while. And I was like, well, I'm from Jersey too. So what company or brand is really big in Jersey that support underground artists? Because I was like, okay, underground artists, they like all that freaky hairstyle stuff. So why can't I do that with all the artists? Because they'll get my name out there more. They be on shows and stages, and everybody be like, oh, who did your hair? Like, Brie did your hair. Gotta love Brie, because that's what everybody calls me. Gotta love Brie. And I'm like,
That makes sense. UIG. Duh.
right? So yeah, I hit up Banks and B, and I was like, can I come and do an interview with y'all and see if y'all need any lead hairstylists or whatever? And it was so funny because at first Banks was like so mean to me. He was like, why you think you could do our hair? And I was like, what do you mean? I'm like, because I'm the best in Jersey and I make y'all look fly.
That's the attitude.
Right?
You gotta walk in there, man. Yeah.
So that was my first brand with them, and I'm still with them forever. I love them.
Good, good.
They put me on to mad businesses, and I appreciate it so much.
So that helped off. That helped your brand take off in a way, right? And then from there off, you just started branching off to different brands and so on.
And it taught me, you know, to be stern and stable too, because at the time I was like really had to be seen like outside, like I had to be outside. So them having all them events and just DMing me and tagging me into different environments, and I went to every single last one they told me to go to, and it was just a great experience. And it taught me how to, you know, how to talk to people more, you know, feel people energy, because I wasn't really exploring like that, because I was still figuring out myself what I wanted to do with my life, and that made me like who I am today.
That made you decide what you wanted to do with your life at the end of the day, or that helped it a lot with it. That's good. So how you ended up doing celebrities like Fatboy SSE and Trinidad James and stuff like that? How you ended up in that
First of
world
all,
from there to
let me say this now. My first celebrity is DJ Prince Cannon. Because I be on people's live back in the day when everybody used to be live. So I'll be just going on everybody's live. And this is how I met DJ Prince Cannon. I went on his live, right? He was on live. And he was just talking, say where he gonna be at tonight or whatever, or that night DJing. And I was like, yo, let me do your hair. And he's like, who that is talking something? They want to do my hair. Because he's rowdy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, let me pull up. Let me do your hair, whatever. So then he instantly DM'd me. I was like, yeah, come to the crib. You can do my hair, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, bet. So I did his hair, and I did, like, some red junk. Like, he had, like, a patch of locks right here, and I did this patch red, and I did the back other half red. And everybody just started going crazy, like, oh, my God, who did your hair?
Mm.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, here we go. So now everybody in my DMs and stuff like that. But how I did with Fatboy was the same exact thing.
Yeah.
He was on live, and I was like, yo, let me do your hair.
Mm.
And he was like, yo, hey, yo, got up, Brie, pull up right now. I'm going to DM you right now, tell you the address. And it was late as hell. It was like 12 o'clock at night. So, so I went over there, and I guess most celebrities are, like, very off-standish because they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
And they don't want strangers in their environment and stuff like
course.
that. So, you know, they be a little standoffish at first, but once you start, you know, respecting their space and, like, you know, you only come there to do one job and not try to use them and hang out and shit like that, and, like, use the videos and take advantage of them. I really wasn't trying to do that. Like, I was trying to build a relationship with all my celebrities and not try to, like, just be like, oh, let me post you. Because it feels like I'm using them to get more exposure.
Yeah.
And I don't really do that like that. I ask them first before I even just take my phone out and start recording like fans do.
Those are lessons too that you're teaching right there. It's important to do that. Like, first off, you dropped a lot of gems, but just by saying that you was out there, you was on people's lives, that's pretty much how you got to it. You know, a lot of people underestimate those kind of things, though. You know what I mean? Like, just putting yourself out there and actually speaking up and letting people know, like, yo, I'm here, I got this kind of service, what's up? You know, you never know if they're gonna reply or not, but at least you put yourself out there, which is pretty good. It's amazing. I honestly would never thought about doing something like that at all. No matter what, I would have been like, this person probably ain't gonna read it or probably gonna look at it.
Right.
But you actually took the initiative. Like, what the heck do you got to lose, right? At the end of the day. And they responded. You respect their space. You don't act like a groupie, like you say. You're not like a fan. You go there professional. You do your job. And at the end of the day, it's something you could add to your resume because you did it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you go about it with respect. So that's very important. That says a lot about you, about your craft, and about how you go about it.
Thank you.
That's pretty big. So like, you know, your approaches. How else do you approach other customers? Like, how else do you attract people to want to work with you besides just, you know, starting on people's live and stuff like that?
I usually go, if they have an event or whatever, I will go there and introduce myself. But it all depends. Like, what you mean? Like, who though?
In general, like, how do you put yourself out there to let people know that you are doing this, that this is what you do, that this is who you are? Like, do you go to, like you said, you go to pop-ups and stuff like that, right? How often you go to those? How do you stay in the community, in the sense of, like, how do you stay up to date with what's going on, what is going on when, and things like that?
Okay. If they have, like, a release party or just a gathering, I will go. And whoever, like, is hosting it, I would introduce myself, like, oh, how you doing? My name is Brianna. But most of the time I don't, though, because that crowds a lot of people's space too. Yeah. Especially if they're the host of the party, they got everybody else in their face. Yeah. So I try to move them to the side, or try to talk to them more so at the end of the party when everybody's trying to calm down, and ask them more so, like, do they need a hairstylist, or if they need their hair done. Just it's not that hard.
Do you know? I'm sorry. Do you know that intuitively, or do you, like, do you look up like instructions on how to network or how to do this, or do you just intuitively know how to, like, approach people? Is that you do? That's a gift.
I do it for my mother.
Okay.
Like I said, I am a people person, so I speak first mostly anyway. Okay. So, like, if I go in a room or something and don't nobody know who I am, I'll be the first one to say, hello, everyone, just to get everybody's attention, just to be respectful, especially if you come into somebody's space and their aura. You got to, be respectful in their house. So that's what that's what I do mostly.
Yeah, I noticed that last time. Last time we actually linked up was in a party,
Mhm.
you know, somebody's birthday party, and then we just started topping it up, and then this idea came up, of sitting down and having this conversation. So,
Mhm.
I feel like that's very important for anybody who's trying to achieve anything, whether it's cosmetology or makeup or anything. Period.
Right.
Anything that has to do with media. At the end of
Mhm.
the day, and your kind of work, you need to be able to network. You need to be able to go out there, and you don't have to be outgoing, but be strategic at least about the way you approach people,
Yes.
and put your name out there, because a lot of people lack that. A lot of people either lack that or try to figure it out, but then they give up too quick. People don't have enough stamina when it comes to this game. We was talking about it the other day in the Cause and Effect podcast too. We was talking about when it comes to stamina. We've been at it for a while. A lot of people don't have that kind of stamina to keep going and keep doing this stuff day to day. The days you don't feel like doing it is the days that you really gotta come and put in that work. The days you don't feel like popping up to a pop-up shop or going into somebody's DM or whatever the case is when you really gotta do it, because it's like, your livelihood in most cases relies on it, and it's just a testament of your drive. Do you really want this? Is this something that you really see yourself doing? Because if it is, then you gotta get uncomfortable. At the end of the day,
Especially if somebody got tension towards you, and you gotta still show up and be professional.
Yeah,
it's uncomfortable to the person who has to show the most love anyway.
Yeah,
because when there's tension in the room, it's like you want to be the person to break the ice, but it's like, how do I go about breaking the ice? Because I don't want this person to give off their negative energy towards me either. So just be respectful,
Yeah, it's just use common, I guess common sense in a way, and just like common people skills, I guess, in a way, you know what I mean? And then you'll get you far, and you don't have to be an expert. Like for those who aren't people driven, or like to be around people, or like to talk to people, whatever the case is, give it a if your job or whatever it is that you aspire to be or do requires you to do that, put in the effort at least, and be okay with messing up the first few times, right? Because I'm pretty sure there's been times that you try to approach people or you try to talk to people, whatever the case is, and then it just went completely left, and then they didn't even reply.
Happened to me on a boat party like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Also, there you go. That goes to show you. It doesn't matter how long you do this either. You always gonna slip. There's always gonna So what happened?
What?
Can you elaborate a little bit on that story? It doesn't have to be details, no names, but like a little bit of the story.
Oh my goodness. We went on a boat party on 4th of July.
Yeah.
It was me and like 4 of my bros and my cousin. And this girl was talking to one of my bros and whatever. So I'm like, okay, she's cute. Maybe she could be my friend, because I'm the only girl with all these guys. So I went over there. Oh my God, this is embarrassing. But it's embarrassing towards her. And I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. So like, I went over there. I'm like, hey girl. And I was drinking a little bit,
Loosening up a
partying.
little bit.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, the music's starting to pop, and it's regular like hip hop now, because before it was not but soca music in Jamaica. I love it, but it like at a certain time I'd be like, all right, where's our music at? So it started coming on. I think Cardi B was on or something like that. So they was talking, and I was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, you know my friend? I'm like, come dance with me. And then she was like, I don't dance with girls, no. Wow. And I'm like, what? I'm like, she's really mad because I asked her like, to have a party with me, because I was by myself. Like, I didn't want to dance with none of my bro friends, and I just wanted to have somebody to, not being like fresh or nothing. Like just girl stuff.
Just girls dance.
Yeah,
I mean,
get to know each other. You need your hair done in the middle of the conversation. Like,
I got
stuff like that.
You know what it is, though? Also, they never look at girls dancing together as weird either.
That's another thing too.
Dancing together, you look at everybody.
Yo, that looks crazy. Bold. 2 guys is a little bold, but 2 girls is like more common. You see that all the time,
Yeah.
You're just being friends. You're just being friendly.
Yeah, and it was just like, she was so angry that I asked her. Like, she wanted to punch me in my face because I asked her that question. I'm like, what? So I just woke back outside. I'm like, well, I guess
I'll be here
right now.
having my drink and looking at other people.
Back to the bar.
but you see though, like that happens because you never know what anybody else's character is gonna be like at the end of the
Right.
day. But if you're, like I said, if what you wanna do, you know, if you wanna do hair, if you wanna do makeup, if you wanna do music, even whatever it is that you're trying to do, that has to do, like I said, with media, with people, because when you do hair, you gotta do somebody's hair.
Right.
You know what
And
I
we're
mean?
therapists too at the end of the day.
That helps a lot too. At the end of the day, yeah, you're right.
And I'm very I'm a private stylist. I don't have anything against hair salons. I
Yeah.
don't. I just like being intimate with my clients, especially like if they're having a bad day, they don't want to come to a hair salon and want to talk about their bad day, but in front of everybody else. Like that doesn't make any sense. And all my clients are it's like anyway, like, no, Brie, I don't want to go to no hair salon. You have to like keep it just like this because I'm gonna be upset. And I'm like, I understand, because I don't even want to be around other people while I'm doing hair because it takes me longer, because it'll be people in your face trying to talk to you while me and my client have a conversation and other people butt in. That's kind of rude. Anyway.
And people just listening too. You don't want that.
Being nosy.
It's more therapeutic, like you said. It makes sense. So that you know, that could apply to other people who want to follow your you know, your field, like wants to be a part of the same field too. That's a good idea. Be solo, you know, be independent, because you don't have to necessarily work in a salon.
No, you don't.
All you gotta do is just build a nice clientele. You could do it from your house, and when you go to a salon too, that's another thing. You gotta pay for the chair or pay to.
How you know?
It's haircuts. You know, I got barbers, you know, we talk, barber talk, you know, I figure the same way
Good
for
job.
women.
Good
You know,
job.
hey, I do the same thing, you know, I like to interact with my barber. I like to sit down and just talk and not necessarily vent, but
How
like
does
hear
it
them.
feel?
Man.
Wait, but let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
How does it feel like if you want to talk to your barber and you can't because there's other people around?
I don't get personal.
You don't?
I don't get
but
too
sometimes,
personal.
do you want to get personal?
Sometimes I wanna, sometimes I get I get curious about their lives primarily, because sometimes the barbers don't even talk that much either. So it's like sometimes I'm the one who's curious, but I don't want to get too curious because you know we're in front of other people and other people next to us and so on. So it's like, but yeah, sometimes that. Honest, now that I think about it, during quarantine, there was a time towards the end that he was actually cutting from his house, and then is when we actually got to know each other a little bit better. Now that I think about it, not talking about it actually made me think about it. Like, oh, you're right. Yeah, I got to talk to him about my life. He talked to me about his, and then we got to know each other in a deeper level. So, yeah, that actually does help. You as
like,
you leave feeling better, not only because you look better, but because you actually got some stuff out and got some stuff in from the person who you talk to.
Right.
Yeah,
And it's like I do have couples that get their hair done by me.
that's dope.
And, you know, one come one day and one come like the week after.
Yeah.
And they talk about each other.
Yeah, because they need the time away. Like, yo,
Right. So it's like, I'm not about to have, you know, my couple's friends talk about their relationship in front of other people.
It's confidential at the end of the day.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Now I wanna shift the conversation a little bit. You have your own business, Creation by Brie, right? And how did that come about?
Because I wanted to be self-employed and make a name for myself.
Okay.
And in the future have, you know, partners that are really, really loyal. I do already. We just are working on some things, you know, so we could be better.
And what does it consist of? Like, what is Creation by Brie? Like, what is it? At the end of the day, overall?
Creation by Brie means it's mostly what comes on top of my dome, like the creativity.
Okay.
And because, you know, being a hairstylist, you have to like, especially if your clients are coming that day to get their hair done, you don't really have time to really think about what, you know, extravagant, you know, hairstyle that you're going to do on them. So I feel as though the creation means for me is that me thinking of it exactly then and there while I'm doing the client's head. And and convincing them to get it done too, because at the end of the day, sometimes they don't want it, but I'm like, come on,
you gotta pitch that out there.
Like,
you gotta
let me do this on you. It's gonna look cute, please. Like,
you gotta be like, I know what I'm doing.
Right.
I know
what I'm doing, Jack.
now, you took it a step further and created your own hair product as well, right?
Ooh.
It's called Moonlight Drops.
Yes, I did. I had help. I had help at first. Shout out
Okay.
to Kamari.
How you
Thank
came about that? How you came about that? Talk to us.
Oh, because I do a lot of protective hairstyles, which is
Okay.
braids, and I felt as though, some type of moisture or a good feeling after you get your braids done, because sometimes it be tight on people. I'm tender-headed. That's why I got locks.
I've been there before too. Like sometimes I had long hair before, so it's like some people braid them things a little bit. Like you get headaches. You like the middle, like whatever, like it be red and everything. I'm like,
Your scalp.
Yo, the scalp. Yeah, I'm like, yo, y'all wilding over here. Y'all pulling my hair. I had headaches. This has been nice. Like I go to sleep on my head, dumb tight. Pause. I don't think I
Right.
needed a pause, but just in case.
And I think as though, being a hairstylist anyway, you should have some type of, marketing strategy
Yeah.
or some type of good type of product for you to sell, to your personal clients and to your clientele, your own clientele.
So what is like what is it like? Is it organic? Is it like yeah?
It's organic, no essential oils,
Okay.
because I don't put essential oils in because some people are fishy about smells and whatever. So I keep it very organic and neutral. Do you want to know what's in it?
Yeah, spread. Let people know. Let people know. At least give a brief, description. Doesn't have to be everything, but at least the main keys that are important for people.
So
But I don't know much about hair, so for those who know about hair, who are listening and care about all that stuff,
I'm surprised you ain't get none.
hey, listen. Well, you gotta put me in the spot first and foremost, right?
Yeah,
It's coming. Listen, I got my boy Jump out over here too, man. He got little dreads. You feel me?
You got some locks over there.
We about to make that work.
I need to see the drops up in there.
We about to make them drops pop. You feel me? I'm letting my hair grow too. So now I'm a highlight to before because I had short hair, but now I'm letting it grow. So for all of y'all who are watching, you know what I mean? I'm gonna keep her in mind. I'm gonna shout out her products as well because I'm gonna be using them. So we're gonna talk about that. Definitely, my hair is growing. I'm a little puff, nothing crazy. I'm not gonna go like my boy Jump out over there. If you don't mind closing in, take your head off real quick. Take your head off real quick. Let them know that I'm not going there just yet.
That thing's look nice too.
That's a different level of hair.
Yes.
But I'm a little puff. But yeah, continue. So a little bit of the ingredients.
Okay, so it has avocado oil in it,
Hey.
jojoba oil in it.
Everybody loves avocado, but go on.
Ooh.
Eating it, putting it on, all that good stuff.
Wait, I gotta start over now. 'Cause you talking over me.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Let's go.
So it has avocado oil in it, olive oil, jojoba oil, and grapeseed oil in it. Because it's for moisturizing, strengthening the hair, and growth. Because y'all need y'all hair to grow.
Yeah.
It needs to be soft too.
And healthy as well.
Yes, absolutely. And shiny and moisturized. That's the most important part.
And you also got something for the kids.
Ooh.
Let's
my
go
little
there.
Kids.
Let's go there.
I got the kids shampoo bar soap out now.
Okay.
It's mostly because I just want it to be fun for the kids to learn how to shampoo their hair, especially in the tub, because they do, take baths. I don't know. I don't have any kids, so I don't know, like, if they take more baths or more showers. I guess.
How does this work?
Age bracket. How's it go?
It's a thin line. Yeah, there's an age bracket when it comes to showering. I got nephews, so I know that like 3 months around that time, they don't shower every day. They shower like every other day, every 3 days, or whatever the case is. After a certain age, they shower every day. I don't know how that works either.
Me neither.
Don't judge us. Comment if you want to give us some tips. Although right now we don't need them, but just give us some advice on it. But yeah, continue.
They I just wanted to look fun to play with, to smell good, so they are attracted to it. Okay. And for them to just have fun with, with their hair, because I don't do kids' hair. Sorry, not sorry.
Is it delicate? It's delicate.
Yeah, and they don't stay still. And I have low patience, I guess. I love kids. I do. I love them.
But when it comes to the hair and the cutting and the crying.
When it comes to the hair, the sitting in the chair, they too short. I gotta.
He's just thinking about it. It's like, it's a lot of work. So going back to what you was talking about, the YouTube channel. What does your content there provide for the people who are watching? Like, are you teaching? Are you reviewing? Go back to the conversation about the YouTube. What is the YouTube pretty much about? Are you even like on it? At this moment,
I stopped because the editing was annoying.
Yeah,
like I was saying earlier. But I do have one more video I'm editing. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just sat it there. You know when you sit a project and you go back to it when it's ready?
Yeah.
it ain't ready for me to go back to it yet.
Okay.
So
But at the end of the day, the content you already have there is pretty much valuable for those who want
Mhm.
to. So what is it pretty much about the content that you already have sitting there? It's about,
I think nowadays to watch something is soothing to everybody. So it's soothing to watch people braid hair.
okay.
Um,
Oh, people eating too.
yeah,
People like to listen to people eat.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know what is that called.
SMR.
SMR. That stuff sounds
That
crazy
junk used
to
to
me.
turn me on. I'm
That's
like,
crazy. Y'all
yo.
people are weird, man.
No,
Like,
it's not.
yeah, people odd. Okay, let's go on to the next topic, man, because this is, you don't even want to. But okay, you have a YouTube channel. What is it? Just in case for those people who want to like watch,
Oh, it's
you know,
called Brie Love.
Brie Love.
BRIELUV.
Slow down. Say it again.
BRIELUV.
Say that. All right, but
Brie Love.
so yeah, let's keep it moving. I just want to know, and I'm pretty sure that everybody who's watching wants to know as well. What do you feel like sets you apart from everybody else who's in the field?
I guess because that's a good question.
At least finally one, right?
No, all of them were
Oh,
good
thank you,
questions.
thank you,
Stop. I guess because I don't like doing what everybody else does.
Okay.
The color braids is still my thing. I don't care what nobody says. I love color because that's what like brighten my eyes.
And that's important, though. I don't mean to cut you off, but it's important for you to specialize on something. I
Mhm.
feel like because a lot of people wants to do everything, a little bit of everything, and they don't become an expert on nothing. You know, but if you are an expert on something, it's good for you to know a little bit of everything. But if you become an expert on something, people are gonna know you for that. They'll be like, if you really want to get this job done and done well, this person, this is what she does.
Right.
This is what she's known for. So continue, but that's great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. The color braids is me. Wait, what you asked me again?
What sets
Forgot.
you apart?
Oh.
That's one thing, definitely. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I
It's
feel like that
okay.
was something important for people to know. You know, to have an idea. Like, yo, if you're gonna be good at something, be known for that. you know?
Right.
But so, like, what else sets you apart besides that? At the end of the day.
Oh, and I like to do natural hairs too, like dreadlocks. That's my thing. That's what I first started doing. Let's get that first off.
Okay.
I used to do dreadlocks, like him over there, and me over here. So that was my first thing, and then braiding. But the color ombre braids and all of that funky stuff, that's me.
Okay.
Like that's what I love to do. And what also is setting me apart right now is that I want to venture out and do hair for like other things, so like TV, Broadway. What else? Photo shoots. Cause it's like I did the thing already, like the celebrity thing already. I think that's what mostly everybody wants to do.
At least the
Just-
first step, yeah.
Yeah, like just I gotta do a celebrity's hair because it's gonna make me poppin'. Yeah, it is.
For a little bit
But
sometimes.
then what? But then what?
Mm-hmm.
What you gonna do after? You're not gonna sitting and doing hair in a hair salon all day. That's boring.
I could imagine. And it's important for you to emphasize on that goals. You gotta set some goals for yourself because it's good that you want to do hair, but okay, what you gonna do with that? You know, right? You're gonna just do. Is your goal is just to do a celebrity's hair and that's it? Like, what's gonna be from there? You know, are you gonna be stuck trying to continue to follow these celebrities, trying to get into their lives, trying to get into their DMs? Is that something that you're gonna continue to do? How long is that gonna be? How long is you gonna be able to sustain that?
I don't
you
want
know?
to live off of them.
At the same time, you don't. You want to have different sources. And at the same time, not everybody wants to be all up in people's faces. You don't want to be, I mean, not saying that you, but I'm saying in general, like not everybody wants to be a celebrity or be known for this in that field, in the hip hop field. Sometimes you don't mind being a celebrity, like you said, in theater.
Right.
You don't mind being the person that when there's a movie being filmed, that they call you to do their hairstyle.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because I want my credit. I want my respect and my credit on the credits.
That's big. No, that's big. That's real big. Talking about all of that stuff and your accolades and stuff like that. Have you ever been like harsh to yourself in the sense of like about your work? Have you ever been like, damn, I messed up here, or like, damn, is this really what I want to do? Like, have you ever second besides when you were younger, like in recent time, you know, because when you're younger and you're trying to figure it out still, you know, it happens often. But as you get older and you are in that field and you've been doing it over a decade, as I mentioned before at the beginning, you know, do you still get those doubts? You know, do you still doubt yourself? Do you still feel like, damn, is this really what I want to be doing? Is this really it? Like, do you still feel pride in the work that you do and all that stuff?
I love what I do. Yes, I'm never gonna give up on what I do. But what I can say that makes me like query and like, you know, going back on my words sometimes is that I do. It gets tiring. I get lazy. Does that make sense?
You do what?
I get lazy.
I mean, it does make sense. Everybody gets lazy.
No, but like I get lazy.
Like, you
Like
don't wanna do it
especially
anymore?
like certain like when it comes to certain hairstyles, because you know some may take longer than the other. That's what gets me messed up too, is because like every month or every 3 weeks a new hairstyle is coming out, and then you know everybody wants what's popping right now, but then they don't know how long it takes either. Like it'll be something, it'll take like probably 5-6 hours, and I'm not doing that anyway, unless it's like for a shoot or something like that, and I'm getting paid like $15 on it or whatever. But nah, I'm not doing what everybody's coming out with because it's draining, and it's just me too at the same time. Like if you go to a braiding shop and there's like 8 workers in there, it's different. But if you come to my suite, it's me. So
That's important for a lot of people. No, that's key. I'm glad you mentioned that because a lot of people fail to understand. You know, I tend to be sometimes the guy not sometimes, in the cause and effect and everything else, I'm the guy behind the camera. You know, and sometimes people like to reach out and want certain things done to their video and certain things, and they think it's easy. Like, no. Just to edit, sometimes the simplest shots, it takes about an hour here. You know what I mean? So you could just imagine how long it takes for me to add all the effects that sometimes some people want, you know, all this extra flair that they want in their videos. Like, yo, you guys don't understand. This takes time. You know, that's going to take a few hours of my day just to edit it. The shoot alone, just being there. Yeah, exactly. Just being in front is like, okay, you know, this shoot could take about an hour or two, but you don't know what goes on when I'm home. And I got to be there for like 6 hours or whatever the case is, trying to freaking edit and trying to figure out how to edit this thing. Because if I don't know how to do certain transitions that you want in your video, I got to learn how to do it. So it's like, it's a process. And a lot of people, like, the same thing, like you trying to keep up with the trend. So you got to learn how to do this stuff. It's like people don't understand that this is time consuming. And they want to do it for the low ball. They want to do it for like the cheapest price. And I'm like, bro, you're trying to pay me $200 for a $2,000 work job. You understand what you understand what you're asking for? Do you know? Like, so and that helps me as a consumer also understand where, you know, people coming from. Like, I'm not gonna go to you and ask you to do this, and I could go up to you, like for example, and ask you to do a certain hairstyle on me, but you know, once you break it down, I understand. Like if you break it down, like if I go to you and ask you for something outrageous, it might be outrageous to you. Jesus Christ. But then it's like, can you do this for me? But then you break it down to me like, I could, but this is it's gonna cost you, and this is why. And I didn't know that part because a lot of people don't know the backstory behind what goes on. The same thing with Chico too, and everybody else. And there's room. You know what I mean? People underestimate what it takes Chico. You know, when it comes to editing this whole audio and everything, putting everything together, putting everything up, you know, and online for people to actually listen to it. Like, people don't understand that what he has to do, what he has to pay for. You know, people underestimate it. People think it's, oh, you just got to record, press a button, and that's it. I'm like, no, bro. Like,
I thought it was like that too.
It's not like
doing YouTube.
There you go.
I'm and like, what?
You got an idea. There you go.
I'm like, now I gotta download what app so I can make it faster.
You know, that's something that I gotta deal with. Something Chico gotta deal with. Something Jump I gotta deal with. Something right now our new intern is gotta deal with. Shout out to our boy over there, Alex, in the back. You know, doing his thing. But it's like something that we all underestimate as soon as we get in it. We think it's gonna be easy. Podcasting, we thought it was gonna be easy.
Right.
No. Hell no. So
that's why I'm trying to do. That's why I'm trying to do the wigs and stuff, because I have more time, especially for my clients, because I don't want my clients, period, sitting in my chair for long anyway. That's why I only do certain hairstyles that take a certain amount of hours, because I want to get y'all in and out, just like how I want to go home.
That's it. And so, are you ever harsh on your work? Do you ever like feel like your work is not enough? Or do you feel like you always like give it your best and that's it? When it's done, it's done. Whatever.
No, I think I do 100% every time.
Good. That's important. What about what about you keeps people coming back?
My
do you
energy.
think? Your energy?
Yeah.
in the sense of like what kind of energy do you feel
My-
like you give off in the sense?
My conversations and how I just try to keep the conversation going too. I don't talk a lot because once I start, calming down, is when I start be like, okay, this person's still talking, but
But that's good though, because that means they feel comfortable with you. You know, they're
but
sitting
that's why I
there.
like
It's part
my
of the
shop.
process.
That's why I got the TV there, the radio right there. What you want to watch? You watch whatever you want.
You got Netflix. You got Netflix. We could put your show.
Just
on.
whatever you want. Because when the time comes to start settling down, y'all can watch whatever y'all want. Put y'all power show on, whatever the case may be. I ain't paying attention anyway because I'm trying to get you out. So that's what it is.
I bet. So, what are your inspirations? Like, what are you inspired by today in the industry? Like, do you have any role models, anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay, share a little bit.
Celebrity hairstylist Kim Kimble. That's my first one anyway because she does do Beyonce's hair. So I guess everybody says if it's Beyonce, then you won for life. So I think Kim Kimble's like my number one. Then who's my second one? My second one is Naima. She works for Amika. That's another thing we gotta talk about. My mentors, you said, because my mentor put me on her. Who else? Just all my mentors I look up to.
I think that's important too.
And my mother.
No, that's good. You have that's good. And listen, everybody they influence you in one way or another. It's important for you to mention because a lot of people don't have that either. Or they might have that, but they don't really look into the intricacy of what they are about, because when it comes to having a mentor or somebody that you look up to, it's important for you to know their steps that they took and where they are right now, and if you see yourself there.
Right.
Because like you said before, some people just run around with like a chicken with no head, you know what I mean? In the sense of like they just want to do a celebrity's hair and that's it. They just want to work for a salon and just limit themselves. But it's like, if you have somebody you look up to, if you have an idol, then you be like, I want to be like that person. You have somebody to look up to and be like, what did they do to get to where they are and where are they right now? Do I want to be there? Like, oh my God, I want to be doing J-Lo's hair. I want to be doing Beyonce's hair. I want to be able to do all these people's hair. I want to work behind the scenes when it comes to movies and shows and stuff like that. Like, if those are things you aspire to do, then find somebody who is in that field doing exactly that and try to follow their footsteps. I think that's very, very important and very smart of you to do. What else do I have? My last question would be like, how do you market yourself? You know what I mean? How do you market yourself right now? I'm gonna start off with, I got two last questions.
Okay.
That's one, and then I got another one. But how do you market yourself?
I guess Instagram right now.
Okay.
I'm building my website so I could delete Instagram.
Like just no, don't think about that. Think about that. I mean, I feel like
make
Instagram
another
is a
page.
great. Okay, yeah, because I feel like Instagram is a great resume when it comes to like, because at the end of the day, you need that.
Yeah.
You need you need to be spread as much as you can, especially in your field. So Instagram is important for you to have it if you're not really active on it. But if you have your work on it, whenever somebody asks for it, you could just show them and be like, this is my work. Because at the end of the day, they just want to see your work. They don't really care about how active you are in it. As long as you got something there to show for it.
You're right. I don't think I'll delete it.
I don't think so either. I think you were just being on the spurge of the moment. I get you. I do that all the time.
Alright, whatever.
Ah, man. And
That's cool.
and okay, so you market you market yourself. You trying to build your website and stuff like that. That's important.
Oh, marketing too. Like being outside, making flyers and passing them out.
There you go. And
That's what I do.
networking with people also, like
Business
you do,
cards.
and go to any events that are available as well, right? So so to close it all out, what message would you like to deliver to the people who are listening, to those who are following you, to those who wants to aspire to do either the same thing that you were doing or something similar overall, like just anything, like what would you recommend for them to do to overcome their fears or their doubt and just move forward? Because I'm pretty sure you had those. So how do you deal with those?
Well, you need to get someone that's always gonna, encourage you to keep your head up, even though you're supposed to tell that to yourself all the time, but you need, other vibrations and, other people to tell you as well, even if it's not like your close friends or family or whatever. Just listen to even strangers. Probably go on YouTube and listen to what they got to say. Just try to keep yourself level-headed and motivated. Do what you want to do at the end of the day, but you know, you still got a life to live, and you need to, you know, complete it and be successful with whatever you want to do. Just keep going. Don't give up on nothing. Whatever you want to do in life, it's gonna come. Keep dreaming. I was watching this today. They was like, keep dreaming, don't give up, because it's gonna come. Just stay and keep the negativity and the negative energy away from you as possible, because, you know, that junk builds on you and sticks on you as well. And when you put yourself in trouble, you get in trouble. So
That was deep.
right.
That was deep.
So you gotta, you know, I don't know, I guess 70-20, because everybody got, you know, stuff they gotta deal with. Everybody's not perfect.
And what kept you consistent for the last 10 years? 10 plus years? Like, what's been keeping you consistent? What's been keeping you pushing past, you know, those barriers?
Because I want to complete my goals. Like, I want to, you know, I said I want to do theater, movies and stuff like that. That's the big dream. So I got to keep pushing for that. And traveling to do work. Traveling to do hair is the bomb diggity. Why stay somewhere trapped? And not saying nothing's wrong with that. Like, if that's what you want to do, you want to be an owner of a salon or whatever the case may be, you could have like a salon on wheels. I was thinking of doing that too.
That's different.
Right. So
Don't nobody even dare to take that. All right? We're about to cut this off. I need to know
go
this.
cut it up.
But
I
then,
mean,
you know,
no,
yeah, that's a
seriously,
good, yeah.
even if you make money on YouTube doing hair, like, because that's a big income too.
Yeah.
That gets you a lot of places. Just stay
Consistent.
focused and consistent.
I agree with
And
that
practice.
There we go. And always practice make perfect. Practice makes what else?
Practice makes
Makes
precision.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
I think it is.
What did Les Brown say? I
Yeah.
listen to a lot of motivational stuff.
That's important. Yeah, keep feeding your mind positive-ish, because like you
Yes.
said, the negative shit tends to stick a lot more than the positive sometimes, especially when that's what you're surrounded by. So if you're surrounded by negative bullshit,
Right. Get
you know
out
what
of
I mean?
there.
Get out of here. Try to
Yeah.
dig yourself out of there. Start the morning right. Listen to some Les Brown or some, like, you know, Jim Ron and all that good stuff.
Jim
you know what I mean?
Carrey.
Hey, yeah, he's good too. Yeah. And,
And just do what am I about to say? Oh. Just do what makes you happy.
Hey.
Reading, drawing,
key.
fishing, skiing.
Balance it out.
Right.
I mean, don't necessarily balance it out. I mean, if you gotta hustle, but like find some time to do that thing that you love primarily. You know, besides your main income source.
Right.
You know, like you love doing hair, and that's something that you're passionate about. But like you said, sometimes it's draining. Sometimes you feel lazy. Sometimes you don't want to do it, and that happens with everything. And I want to emphasize on that. A lot of people like think that when you're doing what you love, it's all the time. It's gonna be overdrive, but it's not. Sometimes you could be doing what you love, but you don't want to do it that day. You're like, I don't want to do this that day.
And I like going fishing.
That's another.
I like going fishing. I like drawing. I like walking my dog, even though she had pain. But I like taking her to the dog park and stuff. She can have fun. Like seeing other people have fun is enjoying too.
Yeah, there you go. So that's key, man. Just keep yourselves, you know, focused and motivated. Even those days you don't want to do anything. If you don't want to do anything that day, whatever, then don't do it. But
right,
you know, make time for yourself. That's important.
Sleep in for 2 days if you want.
If you need that. But when you get back up, you better get your ass going, motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? So with that being said, today this episode has been unforgettable. I'm pretty sure a lot of people got a lot of great information, a lot of great nugs. I think it's the same shit, but I was just trying to sound smart, you know, throughout the whole thing. But I'm so grateful to be sitting here with you to this conversation. I feel like we could go on for so much longer, but it's important for us to condense it. You know what I mean? For people.
Part 2.
Hey, that's coming. You know what I mean? We gotta be ready for that, because we definitely gotta follow up with the continuation of your journey. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. And again, thank you for your time today. I'm pretty sure the audience is grateful as well. And any message that you just wanna leave out random, or in your where can people follow you, get in contact with you if they need you? Like, shout yourself out.
Oh,
let's go.
I gotta do that.
You gotta do all that good stuff, the IG and all that stuff. You don't need a number, but we can just get the email and the IG, and we're good to go.
Yeah, email.
A quick message though, like a quick message you wanna just do, and just do that.
A message.
Random, off the top of the head. Believe in yourself. It could just be 2 words.
Oh my God. I don't know. I'm bad at this, right?
That's why I'm here to challenge you, girl. Let's do it.
All right, fine. Your dreams will come true. Mine is coming true. So
I love that.
I need you to yeah, you gotta get back to me because I'm about to be out.
Let's go.
I'm gonna come back and tell you what's going on. So
Get in contact with you. How?
my Insta. If you know me, you know me. If you don't, you're broke.
Bars just dropped right there. We need some bombs. Where the bombs?
Oh my God. No,
Alright, let's go.
no. No, but seriously though. Yeah, Instagram and
What is your IG though? Like split out a little bit.
I gotta spell it.
Because sometimes you listen. Just do it.
Okay. My Instagrams is GOTTALUV_BRIE.
There we go. And what else? That's the best source for us to contact. Okay, that's it.
Oh, and my email. You need
Just-
my email spelled?
No, just say it.
No, don't spell it.
No spelling.
It's my last name is Sproul.
Oh, okay. You need to
See,
spell that one.
I'm not spelling that.
Forget it. Never mind.
Forget it.
Let's go with the IG people.
Oh, everything's on my IG. My
Yeah,
cell
you're
phone number,
finding
my
it.
email.
You got
my
your cell phone number
IG.
up there too, then, girl. You just like, I bet.
That's what I'm saying.
You got
How
the
y'all
whole
got
inf-
my number.
Hey, listen. Like I said, I deactivated my stuff. All right, I'm not there.
Ooh.
That's another story for another day. All right, everybody. That's it. We out. Thank you so much for coming through. And I hope you guys enjoyed, man. That's it. Let's call it a day.
I love you guys.
Hey, likewise.